Everybody, welcome back to Watson's Wagons. As we continue on with the M151A2, you know, we went through the distributor, got that rebuilt or whatever. Didn't really need it. Well, we kind of need to do it because it was funky. But today what we're going to do is we're going to pull this valve cover off and we're going to do some valve adjustments. And purists, just be warned, okay? I ain't doing it the way the purists do it, all right? But we're gonna do it. It's okay, just relax. 17 thousandths, we're gonna adjust the valves at 17 thousandths cold. We're gonna get this engine up to temperature, and then we'll go ahead and pull the valve cover off again because we'll reinstall it, and then we'll check it while it's hot and to see if we're within that 15 thousandths range or whatever. There are guys that can go out there and they're real slick, you know, they can check those valves while the engine's running. But I'm not trying to get oil all over the damn place, and we ain't doing it that way. So this is how I'm doing it, and we got to do it. And I'm so curious to see how far off these things are. So let's get to it. Let's get you a 1/2-inch line wrench. That's what they look like if you don't know what the line wrench is. Okay, get that tube off. Get your 1/2-inch socket. All right, check out the valvetrain. Pretty awesome stuff, right? Measurements will take place here. The adjustments will take place there. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the plugs because I want to be able to spin this motor with the fan blade. All right, since I'm doing it myself. And we'll go from there. Yeah, there's some evidence of a little bit of leakage back here. So we'll eventually have to get a new gasket. Definitely oil distribution in here. I mean, everything is nice and wet. Spark plugs 1 through 4. I pulled these out, and do you see what's missing? Yeah, number 2 doesn't even have a crush washer on it, and there's another point for Bubba. Also, look how dark the plugs are. So she's burning a little bit little rich, right? Is it rich that makes them black? All you experts can tell me. Anyhow, so as I was taking those loose, I'm gonna tell you something. I very, very slightly touched this rocker, and that popped loose. And I'm telling you, this dude must be way out of adjustment. So we shall see when I get it back together. Something else I'm noticing, it appears that the spring isn't seated properly. So we'll take a peek at that as well. I'm pretty sure it ought to look like that one. Let's crank this thing over. I'm very interested in this particular spring right here. This is out of adjustment too, so. So we're going to adjust these valves. Now, the adjustment up here, okay, that's a 7/16, and you're going to use 17 thousandths feeler. And here's the sequence that we're going to do this in. Okay, now, before we get started here, you got to know the firing order, okay? The firing order is 1, 3, 4, 2. Cylinders 1 and 4 move together in the up and down position. Same thing with 2 and 3. They move as a pair. And the way that we're going to start this process of making the adjustments is that we're going to go ahead and pull the spark plug, which I've already done, because we want to eliminate any compression we got in there. That way we can turn the engine using the fan blade. Now, I've already positioned everything so we're top dead center on number 1. But what you want to do is, if you look at number 4 cylinder, the intake and the exhaust valves, and I will do I'll just move it slightly here. You see where they both just start to, going opposite direction here. Right here. One's closing, the other one's just starting to open, okay? Once you get your number 4 there, you'll notice that your number 1 rockers are loose, okay? Same thing with the push rods down here. Shine a flashlight down in there, you can also see that you're top dead center. Anyhow, so we're gonna watch the rocking motion, one closing as the other just starts to open, all right? We're gonna adjust number 1. Now, once we do that, we're gonna go ahead and rotate this motor 180 degrees, all right, until we see the rocking motion opening and closing on number 2, and then we're going to come and adjust number 3. Another 180 degrees. We're going to look for the rocking motion here, opening and closing, that fine part there where they just start to transition, and we're going to adjust number 4. Another 180 degrees. We're going to watch it here and adjust number 2. We're going to adjust every one of these to 17 thousandths. We're doing it while it's cold. We'll put the cover back on. We'll run the engine. We'll get it up to temperature. We'll pull the cover off, and then we'll go ahead and check the gap on everything. All right? So that's what we're going to do. And right now, since we are at top dead center on number 1, you can see it's loose. Hear that? I'm sure that would contribute to a little bit of slapping noises. 17 thousandths. Now I'm in here and it's fairly sloppy. I'm getting up and down movement there. So what I'm going to do is tighten this. Okay, now that's grabbing a hold. Slight resistance there, not much. I'm not getting any movement this way. Okay, we're good. All right, let's rotate the motor 180 until the number 2 starts to close. Right there, see that movement? Whoa, look at that. This one's really sloppy right here. Slight resistance. This one's really bad. Wow. Slight resistance. Okay. All right. That's number 3. 180 degrees. We want number 1. See where it's rocking. Now this one's off because I loosened it. There's nothing I can do here. There's something either wrong with that spring or cup, and I can't get it to reseat itself. It's possible that it's weak, and we're going to have to address that on a different day. However, this is seated up, and let me wrench this back down because I took it pretty loose so I could check it. Way too tight there. Slight resistance. And this back one actually feels too tight. All right, one more rotation. You want to see some rocking on number 3? Right there. And I'm going to check the number 2. Come on now. All right, number 2 is tight. I can't even get the 17 thousandths in there. A little bit sloppy. Okay, it feels good. And look at that. So when they're tight like this, what could be happening is I may not be seating my valves all the way, causing me a little problem with compression, right? Seventeen. All right. So we've done all the cylinders now. Let's go ahead and button it up. Give it a little start. Hey, when you got a buffing machine, why not, right? When in Rome, man, do what the Romans do. Make your stuff look purty. Okay, we're not going to tighten that down yet. All right, everything's snug. So I did have an extra washer in the garage, and we got that on there, but the plugs are pretty funky. I went ahead and I'm starting to clean them up with a little wire brush here, and just getting the funk and carbon and stuff off. Not too bad. Then we're going to check the gap. The gap should be 30 thousandths, and right now that was a tight fit. Okay, so we want to double check the gap on these plugs.
Welcome to Average Joe's Garage. See, that's tight too. That's real tight. Okay, that was good.
That one's a little bit loose. Okay. What do you say we go clean this up? I'll be right back. I'm gonna make it look like this one. All I did here was knock off the surface rust on the polisher. Cleaned them up a little bit. All right. Let's go ahead and get the plugs in and get the wires hooked up. Fire this dude up and see what happens. Ethanol free, my friends. That's it. Make sure you put the good stuff in there. Printing your receipt. It runs a lot better, I'm telling you. 55 or 60 ain't nothing for it now. This sounds better. That sounds 1,000 times better. I don't know what it sounds like on camera, but I ain't messing with it. Because I'm telling you, I'm getting up to 55 and 60 without a problem now on the main road. Pedal feels nice and strong, and I just had to adjust the idle down just now. It was set up too high. You heard that. So anyhow, so the valve adjustment did a great thing. I also monkeyed with the distributor as well and repositioned it into an identifying mark that was already on the adapter plate. So I didn't set the timing with the timing light the way I should. But for now, this thing sounds great. So, hey, thanks for watching, man. Hope you enjoyed it. I did.